Good afternoon, everybody. It's a dog with you. Another edition of Weber This Week here on FingerLakes1.com. Yes, myself and Jimmy Sinicropi, a couple of sports-minded individuals, are going to go through and talk about several topics. Tonight, the big NCAA Finals. North Carolina, Gonzaga. Tiger Woods, in my opinion, put a fork in him. He's done. Not playing Augusta. Are you serious? He won by, 11 shots 20 years ago, 19 under, and he's not playing Augusta? Put a fork in him. We'll talk about the dumb LPGA ruling that took place yesterday, costing Lexi Thompson a title. We'll get Jimmy's thoughts on it since he is a profound golfer. When you consider how stupid that ruling was and how we allow people from the outside world to call in, to email in, and have them check it a day later. We'll get to that in a few minutes. That's got my ire as well. Got myself really talking. We'll talk about the Yankees. Tanaka. We'll talk about his debut as the Yankees opened up yesterday against not a very impressive Tampa Bay ball club. A lot more to talk about. So good afternoon, everybody. It's a dog with you. I hope you're having a good one. Enjoy the month of April. They say showers bring May flowers. We ought to have a lot of flowers popping up in the next few weeks after the rains that we got the last several days. But the weather is certainly turning for the good, and speaking of weather turning good, let's talk about the Masters Golf Tournament. Jimmy, good to be alongside with you as usual, and the Masters Golf Tournament, unlike any others, according to Jim Nantz and the promos that we'll hear 1 million times before now and Sunday night when they present some individual with the green jacket. I made the comment in my opener that you and me agree on Tiger Woods. I think he is done. I don't really see him coming back. What's he going to do? He's got a bad back, we think. He's not really playing a lot of golf. He's very selective, Jimmy, as you know, about the tournaments he plays. He used to play the World Golf Championships. He's not eligible for those. He doesn't play the Dubuque Open. He's very selective. What's he going to do? Wait till June to play the U.S. Open with 6-inch rough? Right. So, Jimmy, I look at Tiger Woods with his decision not to play Augusta. To me, could be the end. I don't know if he's coming back. God, he knows every single 1 inch of fiber on those greens and those fairways like anybody else. He knows exactly where to hit it, where not to hit it, where to bail out, where not to bail out. He knows everything about Augusta National. And for him not to play, to me, sends a message that, A, maybe the injury is worse than we think, or B, a man who has compiled 14 majors, Jimmy, is the second greatest player to ever tee it up. I give him his due because Jack is at 18. I can't see how you could ever rank him better than Jack. But certainly I don't know. His future doesn't appear to be bright to me. What do you think? Do you think there's any chance of him coming back? I don't know where he would come back to.
No. He's done. I mentioned that it won't be long before he renounces his official retirement. Yeah. He's stringing along sponsors. Right. He's collecting a lot of money for doing nothing. Right. He signed a deal with Bridgestone.
Yeah, I thought about that.
People say that he's working his back. You know who is playing in the Masters this week? Larry Mize and Sandy Lyle. But Tiger can't get out there and play. I mean, the guy is just he's lost it. He'll never be able to compete again. He's lost it mentally, and he's using the physical stuff as an excuse. And the fact that he won't tee it up at the Masters, wow. Sandy Lyle, Ian Woosnam,
Craig Stadler.
There's guys that are 70 years old out there going to play. Now they're not going to be in contention, but their back's okay for them to walk 4 rounds at Augusta. Yeah. But Tiger just can't seem to, that back. He's it's ridiculous. He's done. Yeah. I think he's it's not really fair to the people that sponsor him for him to keep acting like he's going to come back. He's trying to come back. If he's not going to come back and play at Augusta, then I don't know what other tournament on the schedule he's going to come back.
You're going to play the U.S. Open with a 6-inch rough?
No.
Try to hack it out of there. I am, and I agree with you. He just signed a multi-year contract with Bridgestone to use their golf ball. I saw the ad this past weekend. I don't know how many millions he got for that, but he hasn't played since he signed the deal. So, it's one thing for him coming on saying that Jim Sinicropi and Harold Weber should use Bridgestone golf balls, but it'd be kind of nice to have the spokesperson tee it up and play. Right. So I see this to be the miserable end for Tiger Woods, and I may be wrong. I've been wrong, 85% of the time on these predictions. I can't fathom why he would come back to play golf. And I think another element, too, maybe it's the back, but I think Jim hit it right on the head. the young bucks, the Justin Thomases, these young dudes, the John Rahms, these kids are not intimidated one iota by Tiger Woods. Yes, I go back, and Jimmy can go back to the days when Tiger would wear his red shirt on Sunday, walking by the Phil Mickelsons, the Ernie Els, these guys, and they would shake in their boots. Here's Tiger. You knew he was going to kick their ass, and he did. Most of the time, he kicked their asses bad. Those days are over. These young kids, Jimmy, could care less. Tiger Woods, I mean, they respect his phenomenal record. 14 majors.
Yeah, they grew up watching him.
Yeah.
But they also said while they were growing up, that's how good I have to be to compete and win.
Exactly.
And so the caliber of player now,
Yep.
I think overall is better than it was in the 1990s.
Sure.
From top to bottom.
Absolutely.
So that's part of it. Yeah, I think he knows he can't compete. I think he doesn't know how to compete unless he knows that he's the best player. Like,
right.
I don't think he really knows anymore how to get out there and play a tournament to win with his B game.
Right. Yeah.
So
won't work.
Yeah.
I mean, a guy that wasn't drafted by your club this year, Russell Henley, shoots 20 under par yesterday or for the weekend in Houston. And Jimmy was a member of a golf club, which, excuse me, I was a member there for 25 years, I guess 30 years I was a member of that club. He wasn't even drafted. There's 10 guys they each select. There's 8 guys, 80 guys. Russell Henley didn't make it. Young dude, 20 under. Wins it going away yesterday. That's the type of caliber that you have on the golf tour.
Yeah.
Every week there's these young bucks. Who knows? Zach Johnson, short hitter, wins the Masters. You don't know. And speaking of the Masters golf tournament, we'll switch from, we'll stay on Tiger but a little bit, but I have to wonder, I don't know if he's coming back. I'm of the opinion he's done, he's toast, and I think Jimmy's right. One of these days we'll get a...
I said it 2 years ago the guy was done. You could see it when he used to. One of the things that made him so incredible was his putting. That is something that is in your head, that confidence that you need to putt at that level.
Right.
And he never really hit it straight.
Yeah.
But his putting was what separated him, I think, from everybody else. Just his putting and his short game, and he's lost it all. He'll never get it back. And he could come and play at the Masters.
Sure.
And he might shoot a 77 or something like that.
Sure.
But, instead he's going to say that his back is tight and he's not even going to show up. Yeah. So he is mentally checked out.
Yeah.
And he's done. And it's too bad. We might see, this is what, the 31st anniversary of Jack Nicklaus winning at age 46. Mm-hmm. So Phil Mickelson's 46 this year. Right. And the other thing about that is, like, Mickelson's 46 years old. He seems younger than Nicklaus did in 86. Yeah. At 46 in 1986, Nicklaus almost looked like, not elderly, but like an old man.
Right.
Where Mickelson and other 46-years-olds now, here in 2017, don't look as old as Nicklaus did back then. And that's where Tiger is in his 40s now. He could... Yeah, but he, like I said, unless he comes out knowing he's the best and everybody's scared of him, he can't compete. So he never will again.
Well, folks, I know if you're glued to the TV set starting on, I don't watch the part 3. Excuse me, I just don't go for that. I just can't take it anymore. I check it out on Thursday when the real play gets underway. But Jimmy, the weather forecast from where my brother lives, he lives in Martinez, 5 minutes from Augusta National, and he doesn't play golf. The weather forecast is ominous, folks. We're talking, are you ready? Lots of rain later today, thunderstorms in the area, thunderstorms tomorrow, lots of rain on Wednesday. The only good news is they have that air-based system on the greens.
Yeah.
They can push these buttons and all the greens suck the water right out of them, so you wouldn't believe it. If they're setting up 12.5 on the stimp meter, it'll be 12.5 even though it's pouring. But the forecast for Thursday is chance of rain. And also the wind's supposed to blow. Are you ready, Jimmy? 25 to 30. Can you imagine playing the Masters with 25 to 30 mile-an-hour winds? Good luck. Those greens, and you're not going to get any roll. It's going to be incredible. Matter of fact, I like that kind of golf. I love the U.S. Open when par is premier. So even though there are reachable par 5s, I don't care how much the wind blows with these long hitters, I think they're still going to reach these par 5s in 2.
Yeah, the course itself is not particularly difficult compared to other courses, especially major championship courses. There's no rough.
Exactly.
But the greens are very difficult and very fast.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the roll, if it does rain as much as they're saying, that will make it a lot more difficult.
It's supposed to be clear for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is supposed to be beautiful down there, 65 to 70. The wind's still below 15. So, Jimmy, as you look at the field, Dustin Johnson, his last 3 starts, 3 Ws. Certainly he's going to be, he's the betting favorite in Las Vegas. I think he finished top 5 last year. But, Jimmy, if you look at the field, there's a million golfers you can zero in on. Phil's very comfortable there. Is it this year, Rory's year, with his golf game? You would think that
he needs
it
to complete the career Grand Slam. Dustin Johnson is 5-1 in Vegas. Those are the best odds you'll find for anybody since Tiger used to dominate. And I think Dustin Johnson is the guy to beat. Mm-hmm. But what a lot of people don't remember, or maybe they do, is that Jordan Spieth won there 2 years ago and had the tournament in hand until the 12th hole last year.
Took a nice little 7.
Yeah, and he's at 7-1, and so I really think it comes down to Johnson, Spieth, or McIlroy. I would like to see all 3 of them in contention. I think that would be great. With Johnson the favorite, Jason Day normally would be a favorite there, but his mother with her had cancer issues. He took some time off, but he's coming back. Sometimes that can help, too, the way these guys prep for tournaments and stuff. Jason Day takes a few weeks off, and now all of a sudden there you are at Augusta just playing with lesser expectations on yourself. So Jason Day could do it. But outside of those guys, there's so many great players now. Hideki Matsuyama
can be tough.
Is a guy that's going to win a major sooner or later. Justin Rose, John Rahm is a guy I almost want to pick him because he gets a top 10 every time he starts.
Phenomenal.
And Justin Thomas has won 3 times on tour already this season. Bubba Watson supposedly
he loves Augusta,
and he got a putting tip a couple weeks ago where he's putting better.
Yeah.
Adam Scott's won it before. Sergio Garcia is still looking for his first major. So those are just some of the other guys, and then you can throw in guys like Matt Kuchar and Brooks Koepka, Matthew Fitzpatrick. I mean, there's so much depth now.
There is
a
lot
of PGA
players.
Tour. But DJ's the guy to beat.
Yeah, it's a great tournament, folks. If you've never watched it, if you don't follow golf like we do, check it out because limited commercials, very limited. You watch a lot of golf, and it's great. Well, let's talk about the NCAA Finals coming up tonight, North Carolina against Gonzaga. The betting line has Carolina by 1.5 in Vegas. You have to give 1.5 if you bet Carolina. Jimmy, it's they talk about all the upsets we've seen in the NCAAs. Well, we have 2 number 1 seeds in the final, and I kind of like Carolina's length and their ability to rebound and stand the boards. I just think that may grind Gonzaga down at the end.
Gonzaga's got some bigger guys, though. Boy,
they
North
do. Carolina
wanted to give that game away against Oregon. They missed those free throws, got those offensive rebounds, which is amazing.
Yep.
That you're in the Final Four, and if they miss a free throw, you got a chance to win the game, and you don't box your guy out. I mean, we tell I tell my 5th grade daughter, box out. It's like the most fundamental thing, and especially on a free throw. It's one thing on a shot from the field where you got to find your guy, but on a free throw, you're all set up there. And he didn't box out, and it cost him a chance to maybe win a national championship. Gonzaga's bigger, too, than Oregon. But one other thing, I'm Syracuse is in the ACC now. I'm supposed to be rooting for North Carolina. I just can't do it. I'm rooting for Gonzaga and Mark Few. I think tonight's their night. And the other thing that I just can't stand, I don't like Roy Williams. Yeah. And if you notice after that Oregon game or any game that they win, Roy Williams after the handshake line will pull, he'll pull a player aside and talk to him as if he just get off the court. You don't need to talk to him. You're not his coach. I know. It's like he's doing some favor because he's Roy Williams. It was Dylan Brooks. You could see him talking to him. Say, "Oh, you're a great player. You're gonna be a great player." Yeah. just get off the court and let the other coach deal with their players. Nobody needs to talk to their players. You never see Jim Boeheim do that. Like pull another player aside and like tell him, I just want to tell you, first of all, Dylan Brooks doesn't want to hear it. Okay.
Hey,
I don't like Roy Williams.
I know. I get that. Hey, by the way, before we take our commercial break, and then we'll go on a little tangent about the LPGA and the ruling yesterday. That really got into my craw. By the way, Yankee fans, not to worry. It's 162 games. I get it. They looked horrible in Game 1 yesterday. Tanaka, their ace starter, gives up 7 runs in 3 innings, ERA 21 plus. And, he got battered around the first 3 innings. They took him out, obviously, but it's a long year. I'm not saying the Yankees are dead, but if the ace didn't come through for you and didn't even keep you in the game after 3, so we'll have to see how that turns out. Let's take our commercial break here from the great sponsor to make this show possible. When we come back, I'll go on a tangent again along with Jimmy about LPGA and people ability to call in and talk about a ruling miscue a day after the round is over. Del Lago Resort and Casino will feature a luxurious 205-room hotel, several restaurants ranging from casual to fine dining, and a 2,500-capacity entertainment venue called The Vine. The casino will have 2,000 slot machines, 75 table games, and 10 poker tables. Visit www.dellagoresort.com. Cayuga Lake National Bank. Visit Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Brent Street in Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time. When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. The Gould Hotel welcomes you to come out and enjoy the revitalization of this historic downtown Seneca Falls landmark. Every Wednesday is Ladies' Night with special price drinks and half-priced appetizers. Learn more at thegouldhotel.com. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the McGee Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country, fresh, home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at mcgeediner.com. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at newarkpilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com. Rich Rickey and Wilson Press, a fine sponsor of Weber This Week. Hey, by the way, Seneca Metals does a good job with events out there. A couple events coming up in the next week. Yes, we have the Herb Garden Workshop. Check this out, folks. Every great cook knows that fresh herbs make the dish. Jimmy being a chef, he knows that as well. Come plant your herbs, and you can check it out at the Herb Garden on a hands-on workshop. To register, call 315-539-5624. That's the Herb Garden Workshop. That's coming up this Wednesday, April 5th, 6:30 to 7:30 at night. Costs $6 per person. It's an adult event. Then coming up on this Saturday, April the 8th, they're going to have the camouflage egg hunt. Test your family's powers of observation as you scour their lawn for camouflaged eggs. The family team that finds the most eggs wins. To register, call 315-539-5624. Seneca Metals Education Center, 1977 State Route 414, Seneca Falls. That is a free program. So check it out. A couple of nice events coming up at SMI. Well, Jimmy, let's talk about the ruling that just got into my crawl a day ago. If you were in Moscow or you were in somewhere, maybe under a rock, you found out about a lady golfer who's one of the best on the LPGA Tour, probably one of the best Americans, with all due respect. The South Koreans are kicking our butt. They continuously kick our butt. They had the top 7 or 8 spots in the world rankings in the women. We had to go like the 8th or 9th in the world before we had an American. That might improve with Lexi's second place finish. Lexi was coasting, playing sensational golf, kills the ball off the tee, got a very unorthodox swing, comes off her feet every swing, leading by 3, and all of a sudden I think she was playing the 12th hole, and as she moved over to the 13th tee, Mike Tirico advised the audience that a ruling was just announced by the LPGA hierarchy that she was going to get 4 shots taken from her score. 4 shots. What had happened was, on you folks that play the game of golf, and Jimmy, of course, is a golfer, so he understands, she marked her ball the day before on Saturday. She went for her birdie from 15 feet. She put it by about that much. She marked it. She marked her ball. Afterwards, she come back. She put the ball down, positioned the ball. She moved the ball, maybe, Jimmy, I don't know, this much.
Enough so that on the TV camera you couldn't see the mark when she picked it up, and you could see it when she put it down, which showed that she moved it to a different spot.
It was a different spot. Nothing big. It was this long. I would venture $1,000 of my money that she would make $5,000 to $5,000.
If she didn't even mark it, she could have just tapped it in.
Yeah.
It would never happen.
Right. And they assessed her 4 shots. 2 for the moving the ball, not putting it in the proper place, and 2 because she signed an incorrect scorecard, because we're talking Sunday when they reviewed the film. My issue...
Which she would have been disqualified.
Yes.
But in 2016, January 2016, they created an exception to the rule that if it wasn't intentional, if you didn't know you were signing an incorrect scorecard, that you wouldn't be disqualified. 2-stroke penalty.
My point is, folks, why should the nation and the world be allowed to email Jim Sinicropi, an official for the PGA or LPGA, and complain about something that happened a day before when the round is complete, the scores are finalized? And Tirico brought up a good point, the announcer, Mike Tirico, who I like. If they had done that Saturday and assessed the penalty, the groupings would have been different.
Yeah.
Lexi wouldn't have been playing with Suzanne Pedersen. My point is, we have got to find a way not to do that. I mean, it's not fair to me that if Jim and me are in the final group of the day, where every shot we hit is being televised.
After the first tee shot struck on the next day,
boom,
then everything the day before is in the books.
I hope they change that. The poor girl was in just a
it wasn't intentional, but she did break the rule.
She did, and she was in a flood of tears, and the poor thing went on at birdie 13. She birdied 15, and she got herself in a playoff, and then...
Everybody's rooting for her.
Yeah. Oh, everybody was just so pumped up for Lexi. I just thought it was a terrible ruling, and I hope, in God forsakes, that the LPGA and the RNA and all these clowns just come together and make a decision. Once, like Jimmy says, you hit the tee shot on Saturday, everything happening on Thursday and Friday, it's over. It's over. Move on. And this poor girl gets penalized 4 shots, so that sticks in my craw. And I hope and pray that someday they'll change the rule.
Well, the only thing in sports I can think of that even comes close to being anything like that is that the George Brett Pine Tar incident, where after the game they determined that they would come back and play. Like a month, 2 months later, they played the last 2 innings of that game. That was in like 1983 or something like that. But like everybody. And the other thing is, in most other sports, people accept that there's officiating errors.
Sure.
But in golf, the player officiates themselves, which is another reason why a viewer, shouldn't be emailing in.
Right.
And it also bothers me a little bit that that viewer. If you're gonna do it, at least do it immediately.
Yeah, right.
So they must have been watching it on tape or something, and they decided they were going to send an email. And just because of that random thing that nobody else in the whole world saw, that she didn't replace it, but this one random person did, and so now Lexi Thompson doesn't win the major. The South Korean golfers Sung Hung Young, Su Young, Rue won, and she was gracious, and she said she didn't really feel great about winning that way.
Yeah, I know.
But it's not good for the product, that's for sure, and it's not good to getting young American girls to, it's tough to relate to that.
Sure.
They're watching her and they're seeing her make the putts and hit the shots, and all of a sudden, we're going to take 4 shots off your score.
4 shots, I know. By the way, folks, I applaud you if you're an NBA fan. You know, I got to be honest with you. It has been at least 10 to 15 years that I have watched more than a minute of the NBA. And I question myself why, because I'm a sports guy and I love to follow sports. I'm into watching golf. I love to watch the Masters, especially. I wish the Masters coverage was like on every single weekend with all the commercials that we have. But a lot of these corporations belly up a lot of money for us to enjoy the Masters, unlike any others, as Jim Nantz would say. But I got to tell you, switching NBA, every so often I'm flipping channels and I just can't marvel. I marvel at people that watch the NBA and go to games and pay $200, $300, $400, $5,000, $10,000 to get a ticket. To me, it is mind-boggling. I don't know what you get out of it. They never, ever call a walk a travel. In the days that I was broadcasting sports, I make out if I had $1 for every time an NBA player walks or gets called for traveling, myself and Jimmy could stay down in Costa Rica for 3 months, all expenses paid. They never call that. They start at mid-court, and they never put the ball on the floor, and there's never a call. It is the most unbelievably boring game. But then I say that, and as I'm flipping through the channels, the Knicks are one of the worst teams in basketball. Phil Jackson is the most overrated executive in the history of the game. He gets $12 million a year from Jim Dolan, who's a multi-billionaire, the owner of the Madison Square Garden and many other enterprises. They pay that clown $12 million a year. How long has Jackson been in New York as the VP and president of the Knicks? 3-4 years? You know how many playoffs he's made as he's taken over the Knicks? Zero. Zero.
He'll blame Carmelo.
Right,
though.
but zero. So if Jim Sinicropi is Jim Dolan, he's sitting down writing a check for $12 million.
Dolan's just as bad, too.
Yeah, but how do you justify that? And Dolan made an announcement last week. He's so rich, he don't really care that he's not going to meddle in basketball affairs. Jackson is the man. I'm going, you talk about wasted money. Oh, my God. So anyways, I can't do the NBA, folks. So if you're inviting me over for pizza and subs and wings some night, you got an NBA game on, I won't be coming. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. But anyways, I got that off my shoulder. Oh, my God, over the weekend it was driving me crazy. So anyways, a big sports night tonight, NCAA Finals. They started too late in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. We got Gonzaga versus North Carolina. And, of course, I thought of Jimmy when they were grilling Mr. Roy Williams about the academic scandal that has never really been called on by the Tar Heels. And he said, we didn't do anything wrong. I'll let Jimmy go on another tangent about that. I mean, they hammered poor Syracuse, and Carolina sitting down there just playing basketball. You know, now they're in the finals. They weren't stopped from playing in the tournament. And according to what I read a lot of transcripts on that. There were a lot of kids that didn't do a damn thing as athletes.
Oh, I know. When Fab Melo at Syracuse got help on a term paper. And next thing you know, Bayham has to vacate wins, and
I know
it's dumb. It's ruining. That's just one of the things that's ruining college basketball for me too. It used to be my favorite. It's hanging on,
barely.
But yeah, it's the Syracuse move to the ACC has lessened my interest a little bit. Most of the general fan will say, "Well, they get to play Duke and Carolina." Well, who cares?
I know.
Who cares? I'd rather than playing UConn and Georgetown, and Seton Hall and St. John's and Providence and Pittsburgh. They still play Pittsburgh, but the NCAA is a joke.
Whatever happened to Rick Pitino with Louisville? They had a house of ill repute on the campus. I saw article after article. Last year about it? A year or two ago? Nothing happened that I'm aware of. He's still playing basketball, making a fortune, and his Cardinals aren't being slammed down. I don't know, whatever happened to the Louisville investigation. They were bringing in kids, potential recruits, allegedly having sex, going out to dinner, having some drinks. What, are you kidding me? And, I know they don't like Jimmy Boeheim, the NCAA, but they hammered SU, and Louisville and Carolina are skating so far free of any problems.
Yep.
Well, listen, folks, as we wrap up our show, thank you for joining us this afternoon. By the way, if you'd like to come on the Weber Show, our time is different, obviously, not 9:30 anymore. It's 3 o'clock on Mondays, God willing.
Tickets for the Waterloo Hall of Fame.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I think it's April 4th, the deadline.
Yes, April 14th is the deadline. Okay. It's going to be at Abigail's May 27th in good old Waterloo at Abigail's Restaurant. $35 a ticket, cocktail 6 p.m., dinner at 7:30. The inductees this year are Jim Contant, Mike Johnson, Chad DeBolt, Jared Koopman, and Ed Courtney gets in this year as a coach contributor. Congratulations to all of the, by the way, the 92-93 girls basketball team. So we wish them the best. We congratulate them, and I'll try to get Joe Spizzato to join us on the Weber Show to talk more about his big event. So speaking for Jim Sinicropi, by the way, if you want to come on the Weber Show, we have a bunch of openings coming up. Let me know when you want to come in, what your topic is, and we'll book you on a Monday afternoon. For Jim Sinicropi, the dog bidding you farewell. Enjoy the week, everybody. We'll catch you next week. Same time.